So very good evening. So today I have taken a topic of mechanics of machines or theory of machines. So in that very much useful for the students from exam point of view. So that is basic kinematics of machines. Through a PPT presentation I'm explaining. So let us start with first what is theory of machines or what you mean by mechanics of machines. So the theory of machines is the branch of science mainly which deals with the study of a relative motion between the parts and various forces acting on them is called as theory of machines or mechanics of machines. Majorly, the theory of machines can be classified into two major branches. One is kinematics and one is dynamics. So you can see the flow chart of theory of machines can be classified into kinematics and dynamics. So let us first, what do you mean by kinematics? Kinematics means the study of relative motion between the various elements without consideration of forces is called kinematics. So means whatever the relative motion between the various elements, the various relative motion between the various elements without considering the forces is called kinematics. Dynamics, what do you mean by this? Dynamics, the study of forces acting on the various elements is called dynamics. So these two are the major branches of theory of machines or mechanics of machines. The dynamics is further classified into two types. One is kinetics, another one is statics. What I mean by kinetics? It deals with the inertia forces which occur due to the combined effect of mass and motion of machine elements. It is called as kinetics. What when I have the two elements, whatever the mass and the motion of a two pair of elements, so the combined effect of these two, so whatever the inertia forces it is producing, so the study of the inertia forces is called kinetics. What I mean statics mainly deals with the forces and their effects while the elements are at rest condition is called statics. So this is a brief introduction about the mechanics of machines or about the basic kinematics of machines. Next, I'm explaining about the types of links. So there are three types of links. One is rigid link. What do you mean by rigid link? So the link which does not undergo a deformation while transmitting the motion is called rigid link. So examples, crank connecting rod of the engine. The second link is flexible link. A flexible link is the one which, while transmitting motion, is partly deformed, which does not affect the transmission of motion. So, for examples, springs, chains, ropes. So, these are all transmitting motion elements. Springs, if you taken this, if it is subjected to any amount of forces, if it is acting on the spring, so the spring it will be regains to its original shape. It will be subjected to deformation, but it does not affect the transmission of motion or transmission of force. Chains, ropes. So these are all the examples for flexible link. The third link is fluid link. So what is the fluid link? A fluid link is one which is deformed by having a fluid in a closed vessel. The motion is transmitted through the fluid. So it's called a fluid link. Example, hydraulic press, hydraulic jack. So this is about the types of links. Next, I'm explaining about types of constrained motion. So very much important. types of constraint motion. There are three types of constraint motion. So the first one is completely constraint motion. What do you mean by completely constraint motion? Whenever the motion between a pair takes place in a definite direction, irrespective of the direction of force applied, it is called completely constraint motion. The second one is successfully constrained motion. When the constraint motion between a pair is not completed by itself, but it is completed by some other modes, it is called successfully constrained motion. The third motion is incompletely constrained motion. Whenever the motion between a pair can take place in more than one direction, it is called incompletely constrained motions. So these are the types of constrained motions. The examples you can see the different types of constraint motions. Here you can see the images examples. The first one is completely constraint motion. So here there is a square bar. This the square bar moving in a square hole. So means if you apply the force for the square bar, so the square bar only it can reciprocate. So here it is only the motion of the square bar in a square hole. It is restricted to one direction. So that is completely constrained motion. Incompletely constrained motion. Here the motion of a shaft in a circular hole. So here the shaft can be reciprocate as well as it can rotate. So here the motion is completely it is unconstrained. It is not constrained. So means any of the two elements it is moving with the other element only it should move with respect to one direction, then we will call it as a completely constrained. Here it is incompletely constrained. The third one example successfully constrained motion. So the example, the same example, the movement of a shaft in a circular hole. So here we can see the two types of motion. One is reciprocating motion and one is rotary motion. So this reciprocating motion is preventing with the help of the collar. So means the motion of the shaft in reciprocating direction, it is constrained with the help of the collar. So that is about successfully constrained motion. Next, I'm discussing about machine structure mechanism. What is a machine? A machine is a combination of resistant bodies with successfully constrained motions, which is used to transmit or transfer the motion to do some useful work. It is called machine. So what do you mean by resistant bodies? Resistant bodies means the bodies it is subjected to external force. It does not changes in physical form. It is called resistant bodies. So the examples for machines, lathe machines, shaper machines, and drilling machines. So these are the examples we can use for machine. What do you mean by structure? A structure is the assembly of resistant bodies have no relative motion between them. So means recorded as a structure is the assembly of resistant bodies having no relative motion between them. So example, roof truss, railway bridge. So these are the example for structure. Mechanism. What do you mean by mechanism? If you taken a link, if the four links are connected together, then I can call it that is a four-bar chain. So in a that is I can call it as a kinematic chain. In a kinematic chain, one of the link if it is fixed, then the chain it is called as mechanism. So this is about the machine structure and mechanism. Whatever I have discussed, so from exam point of view, is very much useful and make it useful by watching this video. Thank you.